is up? Welcome into This Week in College Baseball, Week 11 edition, brought to you by Driving the Line. My name is Alan Bell. We've got a great show lined up for you today. Tell you what, let's not waste any time. Let's get right into it. So here's the brand new top 25. You see Texas A&M, Arkansas remain the same. So teams that are in white means they have stayed at their position from last week. Teams in green have moved up. Teams in red have moved down. And teams in blue, brand new to the top 25. See Tennessee, after a 2 out of 3 game series win, against Kentucky, moved to number 3. Kentucky goes from 3 to 4. I agree with that. Kentucky, good baseball team. Tennessee, good baseball team as well. Clemson rounds out the top 5. You see right there, Duke, East Carolina, Wake Forest move up. Oregon State, Florida State drop. You can read the rest. Vanderbilt, good comeback series from 2 weeks ago. UC Irvine, big jump there for UC Irvine. We're going to talk about them in a minute. Arizona moves up. Oklahoma at 18. Welcome to the top 25. NC State, welcome back to the top 25 at number 21. And Indiana State, number 25, been waiting for the Sycamores to get in. They are a phenomenal baseball team that we have ridden when the books give them to us. So congratulations to them. Welcome in. They have been playing great. We'll talk about them more in just a second. All right, let's get into our Week 11 key series that you want to know about. All right, so excuse me, these are the series between ranked teams that we're going to have this weekend, and we'll talk more about them, but we just want to identify where the big games are and where these teams are playing, but we'll break it down, like we said, more here in a minute. Number 20, Georgia at number 1, Texas A&M. Florida on the road, at number 2, Arkansas. Number 4, Kentucky at number 24, South Carolina. Number 5, Clemson at Louisville. Be careful of that one. Number 10, Florida State at number 6, Duke. That's going to be a hell of a series. The Civil War, number 22, Oregon at number 9, Oregon State. Virginia Tech at number 15, North Carolina. We're going to talk about that one here in just a second. And then Mississippi State at number 11. Vanderbilt, definitely going to talk about that one as well. Like I said, we have more coming, but we just want to break down where these teams are, what we have coming this weekend, and more. All right, so these are our under the radar series that we have, okay? Missouri at number 3, Tennessee. What you want to pay attention to here are totals, runs scored in this one. Tennessee is finding its consistency both at the plate and on the mound and in the field. Missouri, not as much. This is going to be a series where Tennessee should score run after run after run and get after it. All right, we just talked about it. Number 25, Indiana State. Let me pull myself on the screen here so you can see. At Southern Illinois. Southern Illinois, the Salukis, good baseball team. Indiana State, better baseball team. You're going to be able to find good prices on Indiana State if the books offer it this weekend. Pay attention to that game 1 there. If Indiana State rolls, they could do it all weekend long. Rutgers at Indiana. We've spoken about Indiana all season long. Just run after run after run in their games. Not always Indiana scoring them, but they're always high total run games. Rutgers the exact same way. And Rutgers is a good team on the road. If you get totals in Rutgers and Indiana, take a look. Yeah, you might want to ride those. And then Western Carolina at Wofford. I don't know if the books are going to give these to us, but my God, there are going to be runs scored left and right. They're not exactly right state, but they're pretty close, both of them. So keep an eye out for these. This series. All right, if you get it on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Western Carolina at Wofford, yeah, jump on it, man. They will score constantly, both of them. All right, your Week 11 stat leaders here. Okay, home runs, and again, we break these down both from a home run perspective, pitching perspective, just so you have an idea of how these ranked teams, essentially, how they get down, how they win. So home runs, you see it. Tennessee leads the country, 115. Austin Peay, 106. Pay attention to their totals if you can get them. Georgia, 3rd with 101 home runs. Florida, they don't win games a lot, but they hit a bunch of bombs, man. 90 home runs. Then Texas A&M, we're going to talk about them. Their run production lately has been insane. Completely different team than what they were earlier. And they were great earlier, but they are just at another level right now. They round out the home runs at 5th with 88. Now, pitching, what you're going to see here are the opposing teams' batting averages on average throughout the season. So Arkansas leads the country. Teams are hitting on average 201 against them throughout the season. Lamar, 213. Duke, 213. East Carolina, 214. Louisiana, 214. So we bring that up to pay attention to where you can find unders, where you can find games that don't quite get double digit run productions. Yeah, these are the teams to pay attention to. That Duke Florida State's going to be something to pay attention to because it's going to go one way or the other. East Carolina as well. Not only pitching, but hitting. They've been putting up runs. East Carolina is a dangerous threat right now. Phenomenal baseball team, man. They've been a ton of fun. All right. So we talk about the bounce back and the coming in hot, which we'll get to the coming in hot slide here in just a second. Uh, College baseball is a ping pong sport, very much so. You can have good series, bad series, right? And depending on where you're at, home or the road. So what we want to do is identify teams that are good looking for a bounce back weekend. Doesn't mean we're going to play all of these teams. And it doesn't mean that they're going to necessarily bounce back, but we want to find and identify the series this weekend to where we can possibly just steal cash after cash after cash. So I'll explain it. All right. So Oregon State went 1-4 last week at home against number 22 Oregon. A little risky, it's certainly not a slam dunk there because Oregon's playing great baseball right now. Number 10, Florida State went 1-3 last week at number 6 Duke this weekend. Be careful there as well. Very risky, both from money line and a total perspective. But number 15, North Carolina, 1-3 last week. All right, at home against Virginia Tech. Now, Virginia Tech's a favorite of ours. We love the Hokies, but keep an eye on North Carolina. It could be a nice team to ride. Pay attention to that first game of the series. Number 19, Oklahoma State. All right, went 1-3 last week at home against BYU. We're going to be all over Oklahoma State this weekend. This is one that we're going to circle on the board. Next one, number 23, Alabama, went 1-3 last week at Ole Miss. Circling this one, not only for Bama on a money line perspective, but also totals, because Bama will give up runs, and Ole Miss as of late has been scoring runs. So circle that both from an Alabama perspective and an over perspective. And then lastly, West Virginia, 1-3, not ranked, but they were. And at home this weekend against Baylor. Yeah, buddy, we're going to be riding West Virginia. Go ahead and circle that one twice. West Virginia could have a monster weekend. Now, let's look at the other side here, coming in hot. So, essentially the opposite. Now, what we're looking at are teams that have been playing excellent baseball. Not necessarily that they're going to, that we're automatically fading them. We're not. The first one, Texas A&M, they've been on this list like 3 weeks in a row. They're just crushing it, right? But you just want to find your opportunities to where it could be another great weekend for them or could be risky for them, right? So I'll give you the perfect example. All right. Number 1, Texas A&M went 3-1 last week at home against number 20 Georgia. I like Texas A&M this weekend at home. Pay attention to totals. I'll show you a stat here in just a second. Circle this one, not only Texas A&M, but for overs as well. Number 2, Arkansas went 4-1 last week at home against Florida. Yep. Go ahead and circle that one as well. Number 3, Tennessee, 3-1 at home against Missouri. Buddy, go ahead and circle the hell out of that one as well, both Tennessee and in over perspective. Number 7, East Carolina went 4-0 last week, playing great baseball at Memphis. A little bit weird, but yeah, I mean, East Carolina, as long as they just don't completely drop the ball, could be a solid weekend for them, but there's risk there on the road. If this were at home, no brainer. We'd be all over East Carolina. Number 11, Vanderbilt, 3-1 last week at home against Mississippi State. Love Vanderbilt this weekend. This should be a great weekend at the Hawk there for the Vandy boys. And then number 12, UC Irvine, went 3-1 last week at UC Riverside. Here's a secret. UC Riverside is terrible, and UC Irvine is playing phenomenal baseball. I'll show you that here in just a second as well. So circle that one too. UC Irvine could get the job done on the road, and you get a nice little decent price for it as well. Finally, I'll pull full screen up here. Week 11, Diamonds in the Rough. 12 of Indiana's last 14 have featured double-digit run totals. If you get Indiana games and the over is not something ridiculous, yeah, There you go. Overs, man. Now, read this one. There have been 242 runs scored total in Wright State's last 10 games. That's 24.2 runs per game average. And that's both teams, obviously. 242. My God, man. They are just a gift. Pay attention whenever they draw the books drop Wright State for you to ride. Illinois, they've won 8 straight games. They've scored 97 runs total in that span. Illinois, the books are starting to take it away from us, how they did Oregon State at the beginning of the season. But my God, man, Illinois is just feeling it. Like at the plate, get the job done, on the other side, pitching, fielding, all of it. But at the plate, man, they are mashing. Texas, we've been riding this one. They've lost the opening game in 6 straight weekend series. My goodness. And they're playing up against ranked Oklahoma. Whoo, buddy. Yeah, Oklahoma might be one to ride there in game one. East Carolina, we spoke about that. They've won 5 straight, and they're averaging 10.4 runs per game over that span. Yeah, they are mashing lately. Absolutely mashing. And look, Texas A&M, there have been 123 total runs scored in A&M's last 6 games. Yeah, 6. All right, 123 total runs. That means both teams, they are not only putting up huge numbers. I think in all 6, they've scored at minimum at least 9 runs, right? And the other teams are scoring runs too. So pay attention to that one for sure. All right. That is all the time that we have for you today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Like I said, we'll be all over it Thursday, getting ready again. And then Friday, the weekend starts. Let's get after it. So, everybody, best of luck. Let's cash these tickets. We will see you tomorrow.